tall enough to reach the branches that I need to reach to climb the trees you get to climb when you're grown up. And when I grow up, I will be smart enough to answer all the questions that you need to know the answers to before you're grown up. When you're grown up. That was a song called When I Grow Up from Matilda the Musical. And one phrase that speaks to me the loudest is the questions that you need to know the answers to before you're grown up. As a 15-year-old freshman in high school, I definitely have some things to figure out before I grow up. I certainly recognize that I have a lot to learn when it comes to navigating the adult world. And that's okay, because after all, I'm growing up. I remember a time 2 years ago when I was naive, when I ventured from my Philadelphia suburb to New York City to train to realize my dream of becoming an actor. I could not have been more thrilled to be growing as an artist at Broadway for All. I knew I would develop as an actor as a result of their professional training, but little did I realize how profoundly I would grow as an individual as well. Growing up in my predominantly white community, this topic of diversity was distant for me. I couldn't imagine that diversity would be an obstacle for actors, let alone imagine someone my age would be subject to that kind of hindrance. I had no idea that race and ethnicity would even be a problem. Broadway for All is a program strategically designed to integrate talented teens living in poverty with those from middle and upper income homes across all racial and ethnic backgrounds. The more I started to build relationships through the program, the more I became aware of the opportunities available among my friends. It was incredibly frustrating to hear some of the difficulties they had to face solely based on their race or gender. I had more opportunities to audition than they did. That's not just. But I wasn't sure where my voice fit in this conversation of diversity. I wasn't even sure if my voice had a place, given that I wasn't a grown-up. However, I realized my age and background shouldn't be the factors determining my actions. Rather, they should be the very things motivating me to effect change. So what did I do? I looked at my middle school drama club, and I noticed the lack of diversity there. Now I'm talking with my drama teachers about how we can change the drama club so it looks like and represents our world. This change doesn't end the problem of a lack of diversity in the industry, but it shows that a teenager with a cause and drive can make a difference, no matter how small, even if she's still growing up. Parents often say their kids are not old enough to have difficult conversations. But I say if a kid is old enough to experience prejudice and a lack of inclusion, or like me, notice her new friends aren't being included, then they're definitely old enough to have that conversation. And not only have that conversation, but to start changing the way things are done. Kids have that power. And also, when I'm telling people about the work Broadway for All does with diversity, they sometimes ask, if Broadway for All is dedicated to making the industry more diverse, why are they also training some white kids? And I say, maintaining diversity rests on all of our shoulders. I feel humble to have that awareness. Now I can never not be aware. I can't afford to be unaware. I accept that responsibility, in the theater and outside it. I realize now that if I don't actively change how I think about the world, then I will become an adult who is naive and continue to do things the way that I'm used to them being done. when I grow up. Theater teaches us how to empathize and how to love, and everyone should be able to experience that. I'm so fortunate to have found my own power as a young woman in this discussion of making theater not a privilege, but a right for all. You are capable of enacting change no matter your age. Being an adult doesn't grant you some special permission to make a difference. In fact, there are some adults who don't know how to at all. I'm not naming any names. So, to anyone my age or even younger, don't think about the service that you could do for others when you're grown up. Do it now. A whole bunch of your could-be friends across America are counting on you. Thank you.
Wow.